Hi, I'm Tammy, and you're watching Forever Altered. And today I want to make a quick video about what has been taken from me because of being in a narcissistic relationship or in a relationship with a narcissist. What have I lost? So I'm just going to ramble a bit from the heart, and I'm hoping that you will be spurred to subscribe to my channel and to share your thoughts as well in the comments below, to share what you have lost in your being in a relationship with a narcissist. When you start out, they call it the love bombing phase, but you start out the relationship with a sense of renewed hope that, this is going to be a good relationship. And, for me, I didn't have a whole lot of experience. I had a very long marriage. I've said this before, almost 25 years, divorced because of our child dying in a car wreck at age 18. Otherwise, we would have never divorced. But at any rate, I had a short 3-year relationship after that, and it wasn't a bad relationship, but it ended in him cheating. And that's what, at that point, it had happened a few times, and I said, forget this, we're done. And I moved on because at that point I was a strong person and I was able to put boundaries in my life. And I did that, and I knew I had been through the worst of losing my child. I could survive, anything else. So, and then I met the narcissist. So they come in very, I wanted to say unassumingly, but no, they come in boldly. They come in boldly with this, I'm the answer, I'm wonderful. Mine wasn't so much smothering me with attention, but he was quickly honing in on what it was I was looking for and presenting himself in that way. And also presenting himself as a former victim who, just needed a hand up, and he could get himself back on track. And so I, being the always the mindset of a caregiver, was on it and thinking that this, here's someone I can help, quote. And I jumped in with both feet, found him in that little apartment with no water or no hot water and a few other problems, and I was there to help. I was bringing over coffee makers and and now in hindsight, I could cringe because he was thinking, this is perfect. Here's my new source of supply. He since has said things to me like, when I met you, I told myself I wasn't going to do what I normally do. I told myself I wasn't going to hurt you, and I wasn't going to use you. And he at least admitted that he had, that he knows that he used and preyed on other women. At least for that moment, he admitted it. Anyway, what have I lost? What has been taken from me? And I've written a few notes, scribbled a few things down, but this is kind of hard to say because it's really being truthful with what I'm missing out on because I am with someone who is a narcissist and who really doesn't love me like a person should be loved, who isn't capable of actually returning loving feelings towards someone. So I've lost spontaneity. I used to like to be, funny and spontaneous, and especially in my relationships, maybe even flirtatious with the person I'm with, to just be relaxed and kind and shocking a little bit at times, and just in private. But I can't do that with a narcissist, because they can't handle the unpredictability of it, and a lot of reasons why. Which brings me to my own sexuality. My own sexuality has suffered greatly because I'm with a narc. He is withholding, oftentimes withholding. And I picked the picture background because this is a snapshot of my life. So I thought it was kind of fitting. But anyway, I've lost my own sexuality, my own ability to express myself in a sexual way, because you cannot overshare with a narc. And when you are expressive, no matter how it is, it's going to be turned around against you later. And when you're called a slut and a whore and told that you only think about sex, you begin to just recoil and withdraw into yourself, and to the point where you have no sexuality left. You have no sexual energy, no spontaneity, and then you can be called boring. But at least you're not, you still are called a slut and a whore. That doesn't change, but in your heart, you're so trying not to be that person that you want to make sure that you don't do anything that would make you appear that way. So I've lost freedom of expression. I've lost the freedom to express myself however I want to, whether that's, which I'm rarely mad. I'm not an angry person, but if I were upset about something, I definitely have lost the freedom to express it, because that would be an all-out war. If I express disappointment or anger about something, it's going to spark a rage out of my narc. So, but as same as good expression, like I've also lost the ability to express myself in a good, positive way. If I come home and I'm too happy, he will say, "What's your problem? Wipe that smirk off your face. Who are you texting that you're smiling like that? You're acting like you just got, blankety blanked." He says that one a lot. So if I come home and I'm too happy, then I appear to have cheated, and that's why I'm so happy. So I've lost my pride. The fact that I could be with someone who would call me names, would make fun of me, my age, my weight. He's called me everything from, fat, of course, to chicken lips, to old lady, flat ass, anything and everything that he can, turkey neck, which is, he will target everything that he thinks will hurt you. So I've lost my pride because I have to be, I have to be exposed to that, and I'm still in the situation. I'm allowing it because I'm still here. I lost my ability to ask for my needs to be met. My needs are definitely on the back burner because you're so exhausted with just trying to keep the peace, and my needs have never been met. I've asked, from the almost 5 years that I've been with my narc, I've said things like, come hug me, hold me, touch me sometimes. And that's always been denied. Always been denied. So my needs are not important, and there's no point in spending the time asking for them to be met, because they will not be. In fact, it points them out, and then it gives them a clearer roadmap to know what to hurt you the most with, to withhold the most. I lost my right to place boundaries anywhere in my life. I have many times I have said, this is it, I'm done, I want out, you need to find another place to live, because it's my house that he's in. And that's when he starts the threats. That's when he starts the threat of a smear campaign, the threat of actually killing me, the threat, that's when he breaks out the threats. So I don't have the right to set boundaries in my life because I'm with a narc. I lost my confidence and my self-assuredness. I would say that he hasn't beaten me down to the point that he would like to think he has, but there was a time when he did. There was a time when I would tell you that I was very close to suicidal because of his onslaught of negative comments. And And at that point, I was still trying to figure out how on earth someone could be so misled about me, or how could, be so wrong about me. But since I've come to a point to understand narcissism, I can put it in a box and be and dismiss myself from the negative energy of his insults a bit. I mean, it affects it affects you. You can't say it doesn't affect you at all, but it affects me way less now than it did, say, 3 years ago. So I look elsewhere for my confidence. I look in my achievements. I look in my children. I look to my friends, and my self-assuredness. And I look within because I know what kind of person I am, and I know I'm a high achiever. I actually am a high achiever. And so, but I'm not like I used to be. I used to be innocent. I used to be naive to the fact that that I could be viewed badly, that someone could view me badly, and I'm not anymore. So that's changed. I lost the ability to make my own decisions. I can make some of my own decisions, but the decision to leave the relationship has been denied to me several times. So that's something that I don't have a right, evidently, to say. I'm done. I want, unless I'm willing to take it to the smear campaign level, and to the involving the police level, and to the restraining order level. So until I get my big girl panties on to the point that I can do those things and withstand those things and that kind of heat, I'm stuck in a kitchen. So I lost my desire. I lost my desire to express myself, to have a good life, to have my needs met, all of my needs met. On every level, I lost my desire to have a good and happy and prosperous and fulfilling life, because it's all about existing, and it's all about the status quo and trying to keep the narcissist happy and keep him fed, basically. Which, when they change the rules daily, that makes it kind of hard to know what's expected of you, but you're always trying to chase the game, trying to figure out, what they want from you. And then the last thing I wrote down was my ability to make plans. I lost my ability to plan for my future. I'm 51. I want to plan for my retirement, and I lost the ability to do that unless I just do it covertly on my own by myself, and which is probably what I'm doing. But did I plan on being alone? Did I plan on wasting all these years, my later years like this, with somebody that I knew full well the minute I can get away from, I would be doing? So you can't plan a life because you don't know where you're going to be and who you're going to be with and what you're going to be doing, who you're going to be doing life with, if that makes sense. So all your plans are sort of on hold because this isn't what you want for the future. So it would be senseless to make a plan here, in this moment, but you can't, and you can't discuss it with them. Like, let's do this, but I also, not just for my retirement, for my future, but my everyday plans. I used to take a vacation every 6 months, even if it was someplace small for the weekend. At least I went somewhere and I did something. I went to Florida once a year. I went to Wisconsin once a year, and then I would go occasionally other places, but I enjoy traveling. And so I can't, my narc is antisocial. My narc is agoraphobic. My narc he's extremely, he's got a lot of schizophrenic tendencies, and he's extremely afraid all the time that something bad is going to happen. He has nightmares, literally, he has nightmares. He's fighting demons at night all the time, and he's terrified that something's going to happen to our daughter. And every time I talk about going somewhere, and I have gone somewhere, I've taken her to Florida, I have taken her, for a week. I have just stepped out and done it, but there's always a huge price to pay. because he's extremely angry, and he pulls out all the stops to try to stop me from doing that, because when we're gone, he will worry constantly. I took a couple of weekend vacations with my sister to Michigan, and he was very angry. And then the next several fights, he will tell me, he thinks it's bullshit that I would do that, and that, he's consulted with his family, and his family thinks it's terrible that I would take off, and that I'm just doing it so I can be seen, and because I want attention, I'm attention seeking, and you want to be on the beach and no one's looking at you. And so he starts the insult phase, and he rages and does everything he can to try to stop me from doing it, to the point where this little weekend vacation has now turned into this event that has cost me hours and hours, if not days, of arguing and being called names and so forth. So obviously then you plan less, because you know the price you're going to pay, and you forfeit a lot of things in your life that you wouldn't want to do because of it. And I want my daughter to have good experiences. She's 3.5, she's going to be 4, and I want her to have a wide range of good experiences, despite the fact that her dad would have her kept home safely in, wrapped in cotton, so to speak, if it wasn't for me pushing and being able to endure the narcissistic rage that follows me choosing to make plans. So anyway, that's it. I'm sure there's a lot more that I've lost, but those were the things that were first and foremost in my mind when I thought of the topic. And I would love for you to share with me what you have lost, and maybe that's a good place to start. Maybe we start by recognizing what it is we've lost and what we are doing without. The big thing I'm doing without, I forgot, is a loving relationship with someone who, is a lifelong partner. That's major. You can't have that with a narc. It's definitely temporary, and even if it's temporary to the point where your kids are grown and you finally, can get away without as much damage, it feels temporary. It is temporary. It may be a long time, but it's not something you can count on. So anyway, subscribe to my channel, please, and please share your comments below. I'd love to know, what have you lost? Thanks, and have a wonderful day.